Want some tips for keeping your embossing paste in tip-top shape? These are just a few that will really help. So if you purchase some embossing paste, it comes in a plastic bag. First thing, don't get rid of that plastic bag. When you store it in that plastic bag sealed. It will just help keep the air out and stop it from drying out. Next thing is, it comes with a little sort of styrofoam lid on it with foil on the back. Try and keep that intact if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it, but don't throw it out. Keep it in the lid so you can put it back on the tub when you're done. And then always try and keep it moist. Now I do have a really short Joe Tips video on how to re-moisten it and get it working again. Don't throw it out if it's dry. So you want to keep it, and when it's stored like this, you want to use palette knives to get it out. So this is the shimmery white. This one here is just the plain white. And here's where I have the foil on the inside because it is totally out. So this is how you are going to mix the paste. You're going to pull it out with embossing or palette knife, and you're going to put it onto a silicone craft sheet. And I'm going to mix a little bit of my Shy Shamrock, and I really want, like, if I could get half a drop, I would love half a drop. I'm just going to drop that in there, and then I'm just going to mix it. So when you mix it, you want to try and get rid of any little bits of white. So there will be maybe some little sort of like teardrop shapes of white. I've got one right there. But you want to try and get this all smoothed out. Now the thing when you're working with this is I want to put that lid back on there right away so that it doesn't dry out. So now the next thing you want to do is you want to have wet wipes right beside you, so that you want to clean up sort of as you go. So if you get any of the white or the paste where you're working, you want to clean that up as you go. On your hands, on the palette knife, but we're going to use this right now. So I'm going to take a piece of my basic white and I'm just going to add to the back. I'm going to do this side here. And I'm using one of the stencils, and these stencils come from the Linked Together Decorative Masks. There's actually 5 of them in here, and they're meant to layer one on top of each other. But I like this one here that has almost like sort of like a flower pattern. So I'm going to just take my palette knife and I'm going to scrape it across the pattern. And I want to get some that are complete filled and some that are half filled. And that's all I'm going to use. You really don't need very much. So when you think you've had enough on there, just scrape off any excess, lift this off, and then you're left with a cool texturized pattern. And I'm going to use this in a card in another design. So another thing you want to have close by whenever you're working with embossing paste is a vat of water, and you want to put warm water, and you want to put your items in there right away. Now before you go ahead and get rid of this, you want to make sure that you don't have anything else that you want to do. So I would do a few of these or variations on this before I get rid of my paste. But then you want to just scrape off your paste. Put your silicone craft sheet also into the water, and then take your wet one and just wipe that off, and then I'll put the palette knife in there as well. The whole idea is that you don't want your paste to dry onto any of your implements. When you're done with your projects, then go ahead and take this to a sink and just sort of scrub away, and it should come no problem. So I hope you like that tip, and I hope that you try using embossing paste. It really is a great way to add great texture to your designs. Thanks very much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this tip, and I hope that you'll also subscribe to my email where I share exclusive tips and tricks with my subscribers. It's the only place you can get them. So we'll see you again in another video. Bye-bye.